Hi there, I'm Matt Ishbia, President and CEO of UWM, and this is the Weekly Fast Break. Actually, this is a special edition of the Weekly Fast Break where I want to talk about the market, pricing, early payoffs, the whole thing that everyone wants to know about right now. So, from UWM's perspective, let me just start with this. This has never been seen in our industry before. 20, 30, 50, the 10-year treasury is lower than it's ever been. The dislocation of the market has never been seen. It's unprecedented times. So let's start with that. And now there's good things about that, which we're going to talk about, but I want you to understand unprecedented times. Now, on top of that, what is going to happen? Who knows what's going to happen? And all things. First, I want to talk about pricing. Pricing is a big thing. Everyone wants to say, hey, why aren't rates lower? Rates should be lower because the 10-year treasury keeps dropping. Well, listen, for the history of mortgage, how we've always followed is the 10-year treasury and mortgage-backed securities usually follow each other. Well, right now they've decoupled. The 10-year keeps dropping and mortgage-backed securities go up, which is what our pricing is based off, MBS. Now, also the reverse is happening. 10-year treasury goes up, MBS goes down. It's not logical to what we've always known. Now, MBS is what you should be looking at for pricing, but there's all those three other components that tie into your pricing and understand why mortgage rates are not as low as we all thought or would hope they would be based on the 10-year treasury. On top of mortgage-backed securities, it's also servicing values. What's the value of that servicing for that borrower? How many years are they going to pay? Nobody knows. Nobody knows what's happening in the market. It's like uncertainty creates fear, and fear creates people saying, I'm not sure what's going to happen. And so servicing values plus MBS is the price you usually see. Now, servicing values are diminished much more than we expected, and now MBS are not following 10 years, so pricing has not gotten as good across the industry as everyone in the industry would love to see. On top of that, hedge costs. Hedge costs is the third part of it. Hedge costs go up and down based on volatility. Volatility is crazy right now, so hedge costs are more. It's more expensive to hedge the pipeline than ever before. And so with that being said, people have more hedge costs, which means a worse price because more hedge costs, worse servicing values, and the mortgage-backed securities are not where they should be. On top of that, the last piece is margin. How much margin are lenders putting in there? Now at UWM, we have not had to add a lot of margin for operational capacity like our competitors. We're still on 2 to 3 days on new loans, 1 to 2 days on conditions. So that's not as big of a part of it. It's the other three factors. And so what does this mean going forward? Here's what I think. The next 2 to 7 business days, hopefully the markets will calm down and settle in where it's at. When what you'll see is hopefully the 10-year treasury, maybe it stays the same, but MBS pricing, mortgage-backed securities, will go lower, which means better pricing for you. Servicing values will then stabilize and maybe they'll go up a little bit and hedge costs will go down. With all three of those things, rates will get better for consumers and for you on the rate sheet every single day. Not just from UWM, but across the country. That's what we see happening. Now, could it take 20 days for it to stabilize? It could. We don't know. We're all monitoring it very closely, and we've never seen this in the history. So uncertainty creates fear, creates volatility. All these things are happening, and that's what's going on with pricing and the market. Never been done before, never been seen, but it's a big deal, and I want you guys to understand, because consumers think, hey, Fed dropped rates by 50 basis points. Give me my lower rate. We all know that doesn't actually work that way, and I want you to understand, just because the 10-year treasury drops doesn't mean MBS follows it. Doesn't mean that rates automatically get better, at least today in this crazy market that we're in. Now, the other big thing is early payoffs. What do we think about early payoffs? What's going on? Here's what it is. It's a big part of the business, right? When rates drop, there's gonna be more early payoffs. That's the way it goes. Owners gotta pay it, broker LO's gotta pay it, UWM's gotta pay it, everyone's gotta pay it all the way through the organization and through the industry. Now, what does that mean? The way I think about it is this. Let's say you got a borrower that did a loan in December and they want to refinance because they called you, I want to take care of my customers, Matt, don't charge me an EPO. Take care of your customer, but you made $8,000 the first time. You don't need to make $8,000 4 months later to get an updated pay stub and e-sign documents. Like part of it, take care of your customer, ask for referrals, and just, you're gonna have to pay back the commission, whether it's at closing netted out or via invoice, you have to pay back the commission on that closing. And that's okay. Take great care of the consumer, keep them in your network, help them out. But calling consumers that you close in December or November and trying to refinance them and saying, let's wait till 181 days, and all of a sudden they get it in their mind and they refinance someplace else, like that's gonna cost you. So realize that it's a big deal. You don't need to be reaching out to every client that you did in December and January, November, and October to refinance them. What you need to do is take care of the clients you did in 2018 or early in 2019 or even before that. There's so many clients. Only 25% of the clients that did loans in 2018 have refinanced out of it. That means 75% of the loans that were done at 4.5% to 5% are eligible. Call those clients, take great care of them, add new clients to your book. But EPOs are a big deal, and it's going to continue to be a big deal. Now, the way I think about it is this: you can't make commission twice in the same 6 months on the same borrower. And that's okay. You took great care of them the first time, you got to pay back that commission on the second one, but it's okay. Take great care of them, do right by the consumer. That's okay. But On top of that, realize like, hey, it's $6,000 EPOs. That's going to cost me money. Well, you made $25,000 this month. What did you make last year in March? Because rates dropped, you're going to have more EPOs, but you're going to have more loans. So the way I think about it, you get 10 more loans in March because of rates dropping. You got 2 more EPOs. You're still net ahead. So early payoffs is a big part of the industry. The market, pricing, all these things, unprecedented times. We're proud to be your partner at UWM. You can submit loans to UWM still today and close them in March, which is unheard of. And you're going to watch the end of this month, March, and into April, the whole market dislocation with service and turn times, all those things is going to happen. And UWM is doing our best to be a great partner to you so you help take care of your purchases and your refinances every single day. So thanks for joining me. I'm Matt Ishbia, President and CEO of UWM, and that was a special edition of Fast Break.